Hello everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Wialon Community Open Mic. I see that people is joining us. So let's wait a bit. My name is Kate. I'm community manager and I'm really excited to have you here today. First, let me talk a bit about the open mic format. This series is all about open conversations and fresh ideas within the Wialon community. We invite our partners and industry experts to share their insight, innovative projects, their experience that drive telematics forward. Today's webinar is being recorded. It means that later it will be available on our YouTube channel, and also I'll share the recording in our partners' chats. If you have any questions during the presentation, so please drop them in the chat, and at the end we will have the Q&A session. And now please drop a plus or your name, your company in the chat, so I'll make sure that everything works fine. So please, anyone, thank you. Thank you so much. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Hi, Lawrence. Hello. And now, let me present to you today's speaker. It's Manuel Mendoza from Assistant Telematics. And today, Manuel will talk about a new generation of asset tracking technology designed for telematics service providers. Manuel, thank you for joining us today, and the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Kate, and thank you very much to the Wialon team, as always, for inviting us to the events, to the presentations. So yeah, very nice to meet you all, and thanks for joining this webinar. So yeah, as you see on the title, we're speaking about smart and flexible trailer tracking. So we'll speak about our company, the solutions we have designed for this segment. So yeah, let's get started. So just a very brief presentation or introduction about our company. Our company is called Assistant Telematics. We launched to the market at the beginning of 2025. So we're a new hardware manufacturer, also based in Vilnius, Lithuania, the same as our colleagues from Wialon. But even though we're a new company, we are like a small but very experienced team with different telematic backgrounds. All of us in the team, we come from within the industry. We have worked before for different telematics companies or different telematics hardware manufacturers. So we have, yeah, as I mentioned, a small but very experienced and very capable team. So very fast within the last year, we built a quite full range of devices. And yeah, our main goal is to be the go-to hardware partner for businesses in this world of telematics. And even though we have products on a range from basic tracking to advanced solutions, our main focus, or also where we have gotten the most traction from the market, it's on the canvas reading solution, trailer and asset tracking, and also the cold chain monitoring devices. So with this in mind, also a very brief presentation about myself. As Kate mentioned, I'm Manuel Mendoza. I'm the sales director at Assistant Telematics. I'm right now 11 years in the industry. I have worked before for a couple more hardware manufacturers. So yeah, I'm also very familiar with the Wialon community. A lot of partners, we already know each other from our different backgrounds. So yeah, I have worked mostly in the past with Latin America and Europe. Yeah, and just, as a side comment, I also worked for a while in one of the biggest European road transport companies. So I also have this experience of having worked on what for us is the end user, the fleet owners. So of course, like having this experience and sensibility of working for a very big logistic or transport company. I'm speaking about a company of 10,000 trucks plus at least the same amount of trailers that travel all across Europe. Gives you a very valuable insight on what actually happens on the field. That like not necessarily always hardware manufacturers have this this feeling of what actually is happening on the field. So yeah, moving forward and already entering into the topic, trailer tracking, which is the main point for today. We're delivering a new generation of like smart, flexible trailer tracking solutions. Of course, always having in mind that those are designed for the GPS tracking service providers, enabling with our technology reliable, efficient monitoring for trailers, heavy equipment, and all types of powered or unpowered assets. So we know that it's not easy that one solution fits all. So we're trying to develop our products on the most flexible way so we can attack, or that you as service providers can approach the biggest number of use cases or different segments with the same products. So just to give a little bit of context about the trailer market, this data is sourced from the Berg Insight reports about trailer and cargo container tracker that was released at the beginning of this year. So filtering some information from that report, we can see that at least full year numbers until 2023, there was about 15.7 million trailers in circulation globally. And from those 15 million trailers, around 5 million had an installed trailer tracking device. So this is an adoption rate of like 32%. And here we're speaking exclusively about road transport. So we're excluding, of course, all the even more like numbers of containers, like cargo containers or railway containers. This is exclusively trailers for road transport. So of course, when we speak about the cargo carrying units, considering all those containers and trailers, like trailer tracking, it's the one where telematics are the most adopted. But even though, like still, as we can see, almost 70% of the market still requires a solution or doesn't have a solution installed. So we're speaking of a very interesting and attractive addressable market for the service providers and for us, of course, some of the technology partners for both like Wialon on the software side or Assistant Telematics on the hardware side. So in the last few years, especially starting from, I would say, the pandemic, when there was a lot of global supply chain disruptions, there was an increased need of real-time like shipment data. Of course, like this related to the cargo, knowing where the goods and the vehicles are. This made and gave a boost to the market and to those segments. And of course, like now, after a few years, the new IoT technologies are more cost-effective, are more accessible. So of course, this makes tracking solutions more accessible for a broader market. And like now that some markets for basic tracking or some other very general fleet management solutions are more saturated, like this type of segments or verticals become more interesting. And as we saw on the previous slide, still there's a very big market to be addressed. And of course, like the push for an increased operational efficiency, asset utilization, and security brings a very big need for digitalized solutions for those segments. So, for example, with this other experience of having worked on a very big road transport company, I can tell you that if you have thousands of trucks and trailers all across Europe or multiple countries, it's crucial to have visibility on where all of your assets are, especially for the planning side. A lot of times, like from the hardware manufacturing part, like we only think of the thousands of vehicles, and doesn't mean like too much, but on the reality on the field, every truck, every trailer, it's crucial, and the planning it's extremely complicated. So when we need to cross borders, swap trucks and trailers to arrive on time to the destination and deliver a shipment and the cargo, the visibility really becomes extremely important. So coming to the same point of like what's needed on the trailer tracking segment. So of course the main point is knowing the trailer location at all times, regardless if they are attached to a truck or not. If they are, for example, standing on a yard. So the traditional tracking usually has some blind spots when trailers are sitting on a yard or on a dock, or for example, if the trailers are mounted on the train during intermodal transport, and they are detached from a truck, not necessarily we have visibility on when where all those assets are. So this also involves like having instant access to data from anywhere, from two perspectives, like from the security part, like to know where the assets are, and also related to, for example, theft. Maybe in Europe it's not necessarily the biggest problem, like trailer theft or a trailer getting like stolen, at least not in all regions. But for example, in some regions in Latin America, there's a very big need for this type of solutions, because the main target for the criminals is that they steal the trailers and the cargo. So having a dedicated device for the boxes for the trailers, it's extremely important. And as I mentioned before, on the operational part, it's important for the efficiency and the asset management to know exactly where all assets are, to have a proper planning on the transport side. There's also, of course, a very big need for durability in harsh and outdoor environments. Trails will be exposed to all types of weathers and conditions if they're traveling all across Europe. Not always they'll be traveling on ideal roads, so of course this is an important point. And also to have smooth and seamless integration with existing systems, like meaning that if there's already other solutions included in your portfolio related to, I don't know, it can be fuel, can be temperature or other things, that the devices also can integrate with those other solutions you have on your portfolio. So what is important like for us and how we solve it? So of course, like the main and probably the core principle, even as simple as it is that we need to have a device with a dual mode operation, meaning that it's powered with the truck power supply when it's connected, when trailers are connected to the trucks, or that it can operate autonomously like with the internal battery. So it can work in both scenarios, regardless if the trailer has external power supply or not. Not to lose visibility, to have, of course, proper connectivity, like we're speaking on those devices about LTE Cat 1 connectivity with 2G fallback, to have broad coverage, especially important when we are traveling cross borders, like in multiple countries. And of course, like having a long-lasting backup battery for extended autonomy for those cases where we mentioned. Of course, for the environmental part, the device needs to be IP67, like waterproof and with a rugged design. And with an easy integration with other solutions or peripherals, including for this different interfaces that we have on the tracking device. So the ideal device that we designed for this type of application, it's our AVT 131 model. So of course, as I mentioned, this is an LTE Cat 1 device with 2G fallback. It has a backup battery of 2000 milliamperes. So with this battery, also on the good job that our team did on the management part. We can have up to 130 days working fully with a backup battery. Plus, of course, having the real-time reporting when the device is connected and has the external power supply. We're including also on this device Bluetooth 5.3 and some interfaces to be able to interact with some peripherals or accessories. So we're speaking here about, for example, like 2 digital inputs, 1 digital output, 1 wire, or for example, also serial ports that you can choose if it can be like RS-232 or RS-485, which is mostly used to connect like some proprietary accessories, or for example, RS-485, which is still widely used for fuel sensors in certain regions when you need especially more than one. So yeah, this is how this device looks. And as I mentioned, it's mostly designed for flexibility. This dual mode allows service providers to cover multiple applications with one device. So of course, our main purpose, our main intention when we decided is for the trailers, but it's a very flexible device that allows you to also approach most of your general fleet management applications with the same one, because you can operate with the external power for continuous data. You can switch to battery power operation for remote or unpowered assets. Also, this allows to have less items in stock and reduce the inventory complexity and simplify deployments for projects. So many companies prefer to have one single device that you can use in multiple projects, rather than have like 2 different ones that you need to keep in stock. So of course, like this device is very flexible and can adapt to diverse environments and use cases. Speaking specifically about the trailer tracking solution with the principle that we're speaking, the most evident or common use case will be like this. When a trailer is detached and it's, let's say, part would be a common situation, or for example, what we mentioned, that it's traveling for many days through intermodal ways, then the AVT can detect the loss of external power supply, and in such a case can be also like without movement. Then automatically the device will switch to the deep sleep mode and save the battery life. And of course, like automatically we will also set up that during this period, it will report at a lower frequency. So it can be 1 or a few times per day. So in most cases, if the trailer is standing or parked, like there's no need to report more than a few times per day. And in any case, we will have different scenario when the trailer is again reattached to the truck. For example, the device will wake up automatically when it identifies that again it has external power, or for example, if the motion or the movement is detected. So if movement occurs without power supply, the device can automatically assume or trigger an alert indicating potential unauthorized movement or possibly a theft. So we can set up or play with the configuration and indicate different scenarios depending on the power supply, the movement, or the combination of both. Then this is a very quick reference of the battery life of this device. This is based fully on the testing that we have performed ourselves already in for quite a while, even comparing with some other devices in the market. So as you can see, of course, like this, considering that when it doesn't have power supply and it's not moving, it's on the deep sleep mode. So we're seeing on a range from, for example, reporting every 10 minutes would give us approximately a battery life of between 9 and 10 days. And reporting every hour, we're speaking about 40 days of battery life, reporting every 6 hours about 110 days, reporting 12 hours around 100 and almost 130 days. So this means like with 2 locations per day, still we're speaking about like 4 months of battery life. So even with 1 location per day, we're speaking about even more, like probably something around 150 days. So what we have seen, and one thing we identified in the market while designing this device was that there was not too many options. Even though the principle of this product is quite simple, there's no many devices in the market that have like such characteristics. Like there is some trailer trackers, some of them maybe have like too many features, or they're like too big, and most companies don't need like so much. And some others, like for example, like the battery life is not good enough to provide or to cover the requirement of battery life when the device needs to work fully on the battery, or rely fully on the battery power. So we have found like that really are on the sweet spot, and we have very well located with this device, considering the functionality, the price. We're very competitive on the price on this segment. So, I mean, I would even tell confidently that we don't have like too much competition on this particular range, and we're very well segmented for this product. And of course, like apart from this main behavior or purpose of the device, we can have some additional features and solutions considering the interfaces and the sensors that you can connect to the device or integrate with the existing solutions you already use. So here we're speaking about common accessories scenarios that could work around a trailer. So for example, like door sensors, some beacons for the cargo, temperature monitoring that can be with one-wire temperature sensors or with Bluetooth-based temperature sensors, or for example, like fuel monitoring. Also, it can be wired or it can be Bluetooth-based. Now, there's also scenarios, and also we see another trend in the market that companies also, in some cases, prefer to work with fully battery-powered devices, or it can be because in certain assets, really there is no external power supply at all, or is not constant or reliable enough to go for a wired device. So we also don't want to miss the opportunity to mention this product, that it's our latest. This is the newest device that we have released just now. And this is a fully battery powered device. It's an asset tracker with a very big battery, 10,000 milliampere, which is rechargeable. So, so yeah, we wanted not to limit the device, that even though having a very big battery, still you could recharge it. And we designed it with the idea of having a device that can work up to 10 years, for example, with 1 location per day. So, so with one full charge, we're speaking about that, like 1 location per day, 10 years. So even reporting multiple times per day, we're speaking at least about several months of autonomy, or even a few years. And it's also the same as our other product. Like we're trying to standardize that on every product, that it's LTE Cat 1 with 2G fallback, and also including the Bluetooth 5.3. And this device is also IP67. It has ultra low power GNSS module. So really we have done a very good job on the battery management and the power consumption. And additionally, on this product, we're also including the RF43 radio frequency transmission. This is mostly designed and having in mind stolen vehicle or stolen asset recovery solutions. Because this technology, even though it's not new, it's actually quite old school, I would say, still is widely used for the stolen vehicle and asset recovery services. also sometimes because of legal reasons. So we're including it here on this device too. And now speaking about the flexibility of the solutions, or which other segments we can approach or we can attack with such devices, that even though like originally thinking of trailers, of course on the trailer segment there's different type of assets, like dry boxes, reefers, tot liners, or flatbeds, like different types of trailers. We can also have other assets like construction equipment, like cranes, bulldozers, excavators, forklifts, and other type of similar vehicles. We have agricultural and some specialty trailers. We have also another very interesting segment that we see and that we think it's very attractive, which is the one of the caravans, motorhomes, leisure vehicles. That also, like the park within Europe is quite big. We have also some fixed assets like towers or generators, and of course, like there can be like multiple types of power assets. For example, now in GITEX in Dubai, participating with Wialon, we heard a different range of functionalities or segments where people thought this type of device was very suitable. So, for example, one that comes to mind immediately that one company mentioned was for some like small boats, and they were having the difficulty because those boats would only provide power supply to the device if the ignition was on. So if there was no ignition, there would be no power supply for the device, and this could be not moving or parked for at least 1 or 2 weeks. So they required like good autonomy working fully with the internal battery. So no, like there are several use cases that you can think of. So this is more, I would say, like some brainstorming, some ideas of which other type of segments you could approach with the same principle or with the same device. I'll go back a bit to that segment of the caravans and motorhomes that we're seeing, and this mainly because I think so far it's apart from some particular markets where GPS tracking service providers approach it a lot. I wouldn't say in Europe is still a very developed market for the GPS tracking part, and this like, well, there's a lot of focus, I would say, in our industry for the commercial fleet market. The same core need of reliable tracking services applies also to personal assets. So we think this is a great example of the caravan segment, or it could be considered like the personal trailer market. So the same technology is very suitable for it. And if you think of it, the impact of a caravan theft is much more than the one of like losing a vehicle, because this represent a broader financial consequences. For example, it would represent like losing a vehicle, but also it would represent losing a home, like what it could be considered like a leisure home or a second home for a person or a family, plus the loss of the valuables and belongings that you have stored there. And for example, speaking about numbers, roughly there's about 3 million caravans and motorhomes across Europe and the UK. And in total, something about like 6 to 7 million leisure vehicles. So it can be caravans, like motorhomes and other similar. So yeah, it's a very addressable market also that is not very widely approached. There are some major markets in Europe for this. For example, like Germany, UK, France, Italy, and Spain have big numbers about this. And still, this is a market that is growing quite a lot, about 3 to 4% every year. So there's over 220,000 new registrations per year. So yeah, like there's a what we see a rising demand for GPS tracking and telematics. And that is driven because of this, what I mentioned, the high vehicle value, and also because of the cross-border mobility that you have with such vehicles and such assets. Usually people take them like to go on like holidays or long trips. So they travel across like different countries. So it's a usual thing. So yeah, for example, we see this also like as a market where we plan to develop some like specific solutions around those two devices that we presented before. And yeah, like we will introduce some more things that we have in mind once we finish the development. Like, so the device is working together with some accessories. So yeah, you know, like either if it's a commercial fleet trailer or a personal trailer, we are sure that our solutions and our technology, like, I mean, from our side, but also like from your side as the service provider, can bring a lot of value to the market. And still there's other segments that we can start approaching and not compete every single day on the commercial fleet segment. So in general, for now, you know, like the idea is to have like short webinars. So I think it's everything for today, and we can move to the Q&A if someone has questions.
Thank you so much, Manuel, for a presentation that was great. Yes, we have some questions in the chat. And the first one, let me see, is the device rechargeable? So I believe...
Yeah, if we speak about the ABT 131, let's say in principle, it's mostly a wired device. So of course, like the internal battery recharges when the trailer is connected to the truck. So it will use that same power supply to recharge, and when the trailer is disconnected, it will operate fully on the backup battery. If we speak about the ABT 100, that is the fully battery powered asset tracker. That one is also rechargeable. So that one is not wired. That has a rechargeable battery. That has a cable for charging. So I mean, I would say like both devices are rechargeable, but the ABT 131, the form factor is more a traditional fleet management device that it's wired, hardwired to a vehicle, and it recharges when there's power supply.
Thank you. And the next question, is your device integrated with all the popular fuel sensor brands?
Yes, you know, like of course, if we speak about all the known names in the industry, like Omnicom, Technoton, Escort, Mechatronics, and all those brands, you know, like essentially most of them work with the same or very similar protocols. So we already integrated them, and you can use any of these brands with our products. So in any case, if there's a deeper integration that we need to make of some specific model, you can reach out to us, and we can have a deeper look. But no, in general terms, like all of these brands are integrated and can be used already with our devices.
Great. And the next one, do you already have or plan to develop a solar-powered asset tracker?
So far, it's not on our scope. I mean, of course, we have in mind that these are becoming like quite popular. But on the other hand, you know, like that's why our big battery asset tracker, we made it like rechargeable, to at least have that option that in any case you can have it operating for, let's say, like multiple years, and in any case, if needed, have it recharged. I mean, so far we're not working right now on the solar device. If there would be like some big demand, like we would think of it. But yeah, like so far it's not on our roadmap.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last questions? Because I have. So, Manuel, could you tell me how many different profiles can be configured on the device simultaneously for different reporting behaviors?
I mean, this in our device, it's quite flexible. Like we know how it works in other brands. That, for example, you can set up like specifically like 1, 2, 3, or 4 different profiles directly on the configuration tool of the device. In our device, you have more flexibility in the way that you can set up like all reporting behaviors you want, and you create a list of those behaviors. And then there's another section of the configurator where you set up the different triggers or different logics, and then you assign a certain tracking behavior to that logic. And you have, I don't know, the configurator, I think there's something like 30 different spaces to create those those logics. So like technically you could have like much more than 4 or 5 or 6 like different profiles, which I would say like in most cases would not be needed. But of course, like you can use it for all the things on the device to create logic-based behaviors. So yeah, on that way, as many as you want, you can create based on these logics that are triggered on specific events happening. Sorry, I'm seeing someone here on the chat, like, where's your office and company name again? So yeah, the name of our company, as you can see now on the screen, is Assistant Telematics, and our office is located in Vilnius, in Lithuania. So we're also a Lithuanian-based company. Me personally, I'm also located here in Vilnius. So yeah, that's the answer.
So, no questions? No, the last one. Do you have any CAN bus device and probes?
We have a CAN bus device, yes. It's called AVT 110 or 111. There's 2 versions. So the hardware actually looks very similar to the AVT 131 that we saw earlier on the presentation. And yeah, not sure if you listen to the beginning of the presentation, but CAN bus reading, it's one of the areas where we're pushing the most, or where companies are using our devices the most. So we're in a very good level over there. We have very good development on the CAN bus reading. So yeah, if you're interested in that, Kevin, for sure, we can send you more information. And I would really encourage you to have a look at the device. Very good one.
So thank you so much, Manuel, for your presentation and answering the questions. It was a pleasure, and I believe that it was really useful for our audience. And thank you so much for everyone who joined us today. As I told you, I'll share the recording with you. So see you at the next open mic episode. Have a
Yeah.
nice day. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much, everyone, for joining us. And here you have my contacts in any case. If you want to reach out or search me on LinkedIn, and we'll be happy to speak with you.